Today's socks are Mad About the Girls by Adrian Fong, and this is an all-over cabled sock, and it has beads in the cuff. This was designed for Sock Madness 9 round 4. I started them on April 19th and I finished them on April 25th, and they brought me to round 5 that year. I've used Drops Fable for this pair. Well, hello, welcome to Vlogmas. Today is December 6th and it is 2 p.m. I was planning on recording Vlogmas this morning, but then I decided I wanted to take a shower while Rob was still in the house. But after I have showered, I just need to rest for a little while. So the time kind of got away from me, but that's okay. It's not like I'm a really busy person at the moment. All I have to do is sit and heal. So in my advent calendar was a new Apple Watch band, a Christmassy one. I love it. I put it on right away, backwards of course first. I don't know for you who have an iPad and do switch wristbands every now and then. Do you have the same thing? It's like I always put them on the wrong way first. And these earrings were in the Advent for day 6. So sweet. I think I have a pair of these. I think they are in a lighter green. So we will just have to see. In Wolhobby's Advent calendar was this today. And this is a very handy pair of scissors. They open if you take off the cap, but if you put the cap back on, they are secured and closed, and you can just throw them in your knitting bag and nothing happens. So that was today's present. Let's see. The theme of today to think about, and the title of this vlog, is I'd rather be caught knitting than caught without yarn. Well, that's definitely true. If I'm caught knitting, well, then I'm knitting, so that's a good thing. But being without yarn must be the horror, right? That won't be happening anytime soon. I don't have a huge stash. I'm not a stable stash collector. Stash acquired beyond lifetime expectancy. But it is growing, and there's only so much time that you can spend knitting, right? Let's see. I got a Get Well Soon card by mail, and there were tea bags on the back of this card, but I already put them in the kitchen. And on the Knit to Purl to Festival, I got this from Esther, and in here are wine gum alpacas, so that can go to the kitchen. I don't eat sweets, but there are people in the house here that do. This is from Hobby Klets met Willy, and she handed out cards with crocheted hearts attached, and on the back is a stamp that says "You're a close knit friend." Winnie was handing out leftover yarns, and she carried a bag around with all kinds of colors, so everyone could pick one for their own. I just kind of grabbed one. And Patrie Peaks handed out these little cards with this lovely, sweet knitting jewel. Yeah. The tea, the Shoko tea, is my absolute favorite tea. So I brewed it, and the label says the unknown has to be trusted. Okay. My favorite of today, oh, haha, I forgot to show the cable needle to the Dutch viewers. My favorite of today I wanted to talk about project bags and notions pouches and what is important for me in notions pouches and project bags. I own a fair amount of project bags. I did not take them all out. That would be too heavy and too much fuss. But I just grabbed a few, and I told in the Dutch vlog, if you ever send me or made me a project bag and I'm not showing it, I all love them equally much and I use them all. So, but it's just silly, right, to do a 3-hour vlog only showing project bags, right? So, of course I have a Christmassy one, this one with the Santas on it. This is not my only Christmas bag. This is reversible. This fabric is on the inside, and this is a Japanese knot bag. So if you take the big loop through the small loop, it closes like this, and you can hang it on your wrist and knit from your bag. This is a drawstring bag made by Esther, not my friend Esther from the Advent, but another Esther. And here is one button a knitter once gave me, and here is a wall hobby button. And this is a different type of drawstring bag, because usually you have the strings attached on the side, and here they are in the middle. So you pull it close like this. I'm not going to show what's in here, because there is a design in progress in there. My friend Esther from the Advent did make me several bags. This is one of them. This one has a lot of pockets on the outside, but also on the inside. There are 2 ball hobby buttons on here, and this is from a workshop I did last summer. And in here is my stitch surface sock, and this sock gave me the inspiration for the melody shawl. The socks are not finished yet, but I do have a design. And this is also a drawstring bag, but look how cute. This closes on top, and then you have this. I have a drawstring bag with the strings where you should expect them. Ineke made me this. In here is a 100% merino with a natural dye. She used a herb for this to dye this. And it's in here because I want to make the best hairband, the best headband out of this. This project bag got made for me by Liane. She also has a YouTube channel, but just in Dutch. And she has a YouTube channel with 2 friends. They call themselves the Fiber Girls. She has a machine to do this. And I think she said that it is plotted. But when I was, in my 20s, I was working for a company, and we used a plotter there to draw out maps. That was a different thing than this. And in here, is my granny stripe blanket, which I discussed yesterday, because I wanted to frog it and make it into a stack-tangle blanket. Well, The frogging has started. I'm still going to frog it and start over on a bigger needle. But this is not going to be a stack-tangle, because yesterday I took a closer look at the pattern and it would be a shame to use this in a stack-tangle. You really should have that pattern speak for itself. So this is just going to be a granny stripe leftover blanket, and the stack-tangle will happen on a later day and time in different yarn. So, project bags and notions pouches, and because I was going to discuss them both, I wanted to show you this bag as well. This is my favorite bag by Hobby Bags. There are pins here. This is the pin from Inge from Hobby Bags. I think I got this one from the Navy Knitter. This is Dolly from Ika and Stave. And there are some wool hobby pins on here. I wanted to show you this one as well, because this one has a few clever features. First of all, there is a keychain ring on this side of the bag, and Inge always adds a few markers, the little plastic clips in the color of the bag. This sock was crocheted for me by Kim, by the way. But in this bag are two notions pouches. One is in here, and I can undo the buttons and take it out. There's nothing in this one at the moment, but this is also a notions pouch. And you can lift it out and it closes again with on itself as well. So this bag is such a clever design. There's also in here another keychain with a lobster clasp, so you can put on your keys or well, whatever you want to keep safe in your bag. So that's why I wanted to show this bag in particular, because of both of the notions pouches. What's in my notions pouch? Well, in nearly all my notions pouches, I want to have a tape measure. This one's made by Judith for me. It says, "I knit, what's your superpower?" And here is my name on it. Forgot to show it in the Dutch vlog. So I always want to have a tape measure present. I always want to have scissors present. These were the scissors that were in Wool Hobby's advent calendar last year. You can take off the cap and then you can use your scissors and then you can put it back on again and you can throw it in your bag and in your notions pouch and it's safe. I prefer to have a needle gauge meter. Well, you know what I mean. I prefer to have one in all my notions pouches. I don't think I have that many, but that's okay. A cable needle. I don't use a cable needle often, but it's handy to have at hand. I do want a crochet hook in each and every notions pouch, but other than the crochet hook, I even prefer Susan Bates' handy tool above the crochet hook. It has a crochet hook on one side and a knitting needle end on the other side. So when I made a mistake, I can just unpick with the knitting needle side and crochet back up with the crochet hook. This one, my fix-a-stitch, is also one of my, I truly think that these two are my favorite notions, my favorite knitting tools. This one has crochet hook on each side, but a very deep hook. And this is really the best if you made a mistake in garter. It's also nice to use in stockinette, of course, but if you are doing a garter project, say you are knitting something from Stephen West, for example, he uses a lot of garter, then this is really so nice to have present. The best thing is if you don't make any mistakes at all, right? But a mistake is made easily. I always want to have a tapestry needle in it. I prefer to have needle stoppers in there as well, a nail file, stitch markers in all kinds of shapes. I have light bulb markers in here and some other stitch markers. And I was just telling in the Dutch vlog that if I have a stitch marker that someone made for me or someone gifted me, and like this, for example, Bean had these made for me by steekmarkeerders.nl. Now, for example, if someone is having a hard time, and if I have a stitch marker that they made for me or they gifted me, or otherwise I can pick any stitch marker, right? I could pick one of these, dedicated to that person for that moment, and then when I'm knitting, every time I pass the stitch marker, I can send them some good thoughts and some love. It's a bit like a prayer shawl. I think, is that typically American? I think so, but I'm not sure. A prayer shawl, that when you knit a shawl for someone, you think about them and you pray for them while knitting or crocheting that particular shawl. And I think that the idea of spending some bandwidth in all your thoughts is so sweet and so nice. And the knitting brings so much rest and makes me feel so happy. And if I pass a stitch marker that I dedicate it to a certain person, and I can think about them for a while and send them some happy thoughts or good health or, well, whatever, I think that is a really nice thought. So, is that everything in my notions pouches? I think so. Well, there might be small varieties from one to the other. I prefer to have a notions pouch in each and every project bag that I'm actively knitting from. So, but I also use tins like this or like this as a notions pouch. So it can be several things. It can be a little bag like this. But I prefer to have notions in each project bag. So, yeah. So that's it for notions, pouches and project bags. Do you have a favorite? Is there something that you absolutely want to have at hand all time? Then one more thing. I started a knit yesterday. I showed you the kits for this one earlier this week, although, well, I think I showed it in the English vlog as well. I wanted to knit Lisa's Step Into Christmas sock. And although this shows really well, in real life it's not showing that good. But I took another light green because the light green color that was in the kit kind of messed with the pattern, and the people who bought a kit with those two greens, I've already compensated them by sending them a gift card, because the two greens are used twice in the sock, and in the first clue and in the second clue, and they are already sent out, so chances are that people already did the two greens section, and I would not want people to have ripped back or anything, and so I try to ease the pain by sending them a gift card. Anyways, this is the step into Christmas. A colorwork sock, hence it's huge, because the stretch in a colorwork sock is very different. So I go up 0.5 needle size for the colorwork parts, and I started on 72 stitches. When you go to the body of the sock, you increase up to 80. To be honest, I did not read the pattern up front, otherwise I might have cast on. No, the size below was 64, I believe, and that's a bit too small, I think. So this looks huge, but it's color work, so it's allowed to look huge because I need to fit my leg in it, and it needs to go over my ankle, right? So that's it for today. I just might rip out that crochet blanket to start it over again. And I hope to do some rows on this sock today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being here. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.